Rev up your engines! Today I'm going to talk about what makes the full-size F-150 pickup truck probably the most popular, best full-size pickup truck around. And in this case, it's a 2004 FX4 off-road version. And as you can see, even though this thing's been ridden hard and put up with, it's got 166,000 miles on it. 16 years old, still going strong. Still original engine, original transmission, original transfer case. And this being the FX4, not gigantic in the back, but there are seats in the back. It's even got the Texas head. It's got the venerable 5.4 liter V8 engine. This particular one puts out 300 horsepower and 365 pound-feet of torque. Got a lot of pulling power. This thing can tow 9,500 pounds, and the bed can carry 2,900 pounds, so it has no problem carrying me around. It's got dual exhaust for that great V8 sound. Whether it's just got a nice idle or you're revving it up. That sound alone made Henry Ford millions. This is one serious work truck. They aren't great on gas, but that's not what this is for. This is a serious work truck. I rented one of these years ago when we went to Lake Tahoe in the winter. They had like 300 something inches of snow. Got the all-wheel drive one, never got stuck, had no problems. They gave me a choice at the rental center. They said, you can get a car, but you're gonna have to put chains on it, or you can get a four-wheel drive Ford. And I said, give me the Ford. It has serious ground clearance for driving, but not the insanity of those nuts that put them way, way, way up in the air. It's still handled really good in the mountains. To be honest, often between 150, 220,000 miles, you might have to do the transmission over. But Ford has remanufactured ones available that work quite well. And no matter where you live, you can always get parts for Fords. At least in North America, but I mean, hey, they got big plants all over the world. And a lot of people don't know this, but for decades, Ford has been the largest selling vehicles in England. So the English use them all the time too. They're not that into these big, gigantic pickups over there. The roads are too small. But here in Texas, we got lots of road, plenty of room for a big old pickup. They got killer air conditioning for our 100-degree, 95% humidity days here in Houston, but the V8 engines put out a lot of heat. The heaters work great too. You'll melt yourself here in Texas. And when I rented the one in Lake Tahoe, freezing cold outside, I had to turn the heat down to low. It got too hot inside. Just the general comfort level is nice. These leather seats are great. This thing's old, it's a work truck, so of course this is worn out here, but hey, otherwise it's still in pretty decent shape. It's the badge of a workman's truck, see? It's all worn out in the driver's seat, but all the other seats, the leather's pristine. My customers never had a problem with the all-wheel drive system. You can have it on two-wheel, four-wheel high, four-wheel low, just by the flick of a switch. And yeah, this is an older one. It came with a basic CD player and stuff, but as you can see, my customers already put the Sirius XM radio with it, and that's all he ever listens to. And really, Ford's been perfecting the suspension system of these things over the years. This is an older one. In the present decade, hey, they've upgraded the suspension systems. My wife doesn't like riding in pickup trucks. She says they're too high, they're too bumpy. 3 years ago, I was road testing. I took her for a ride. She says, no, I don't want to, I hate riding in those trucks. She says this thing really rides good because they perfected that too. They've made it so that if somebody wants a cushy ride, you can get a cushy ride. Even though it's an F-150, it's a whole range of trucks with various options you can stick on. But when it comes to F-150s, I'm a traditionalist. I like the plain V8 engine, no turbocharger, gasoline direct injection, none of that high-tech stuff that's going to break. A plain old fuel injected V8 engine that with minor maintenance can run. These things can last indefinitely. I get customers with them had 500,000 miles on them. They were on their second transmission, but you're getting your money's worth even if you got to put a little bit of money in something like that. As a comparison, I got customers that have Silverado pickup trucks, and the automatic transmissions in them, they will last generally less than half as long as these Ford transmissions will. Ford really was the one who started mass-produced V8s that were affordable and lasted a long time. And they don't have foolish things in them like GM putting a 4-cylinder, which has proven to be a massive failure anyways. You're gonna get one of these. I advise, don't get one of those V6 ones. Stick to the normally aspirated V8 engine, because a lot of those tests are kind of lies. You put a 4-cylinder engine in a big pickup truck, it can have higher gas mileage ratings, but yeah, you start towing a bunch of stuff and filling it with a payload, those ratings go right down the toilet. Big V8 engine can handle it. The other engines, when you stress them, not only are they going to wear out faster, but their gas mileage is going to go right down the toilet. Now, I do have to say I'm impressed by one new technology they put in. They got that massive 10-speed automatic transmission that they also put in the Mustangs. They had a little problem here and there with software, which they could easily correct. But the transmissions themselves are extremely large, extremely powerful, and they actually get decent gas mileage because not only the 10-speed transmissions, but the last 3 gears are overdrive to get the most gas mileage you can when you're just cruising down the road at a set speed. Now take a Toyota Tundra. They make a nice big truck too, but the sales are nothing compared to these F-150s, because you gotta face it, Toyota, they're not in the business of making large trucks. That's not where they make all their money. Full-size trucks is more of a sideline for Toyota. They sell a lot of small and mid-size pickup trucks, which are excellent trucks, but full-size, Ford's been making them for so long, and they just keep perfecting them as time goes on. In this aspect, the F-150 kind of takes after the Japanese business model of starting out and over decades, improving on the pickup truck, seeing what people want, adding it in. All right, in the later model ones, they started putting a whole bunch more aluminum, so they had 700-800 pounds or more or less weight, so they got a little bit better gas mileage. They've improved these things incrementally over the years, which is what the Japanese have traditionally done with their good manufacturers. So, I mean, they copied Henry Ford on the mass production of cars. Maybe Ford's turned around and took a page out of the Japanese playbook. Improve them incrementally over time. Don't throw the baby away with the bathwater. If you make a mistake, fix it, and then go on and improve that. Because there's a lot of guys out there looking for a serious work truck. Just decide what you want. If you're really serious about pickup trucks, I'd say start by looking at the Fords. And especially if you're looking for a used work truck. Rams, they can be okay when they're brand new, but when they age, man, do they fall apart. You do not want to buy a used Ram. I have customers bought new ones. They were okay for maybe 80,000-90,000 miles before they started falling apart, but you never want to buy a used one. High mileage. I've had customers buy Fords that had 200,000 miles, put another 200,000 miles on it. And sadly, you used to be able to get that with a Chevy pickup truck. When I was a young mechanic in the 60s, Ford and Chevy, they were neck and neck over who makes the better pickup trucks. But quite some time ago, as far as I'm concerned, Ford pulled way ahead of them. I mean, the only thing Ford making in the United States now is pickup trucks, SUVs, and Mustangs. They're spending a lot of time with pickup trucks. They sell a lot of them. They know what they're doing. I never buy new anything, because as far as I'm concerned, they all cost way too much brand new. So you might look around for a good used one if you're in the market. They're used by a lot of commercial guys. If they buy something that falls apart, their business isn't going to buy another one. Here again, we got the Japanese philosophy coming through. Make your customers happy, and they'll keep buying your vehicles. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.